Bum, bum, bum. Guess your turn now. Oh, that is so loud. Hold on. We'll turn that down. We're listening to this. How is everyone? Is that too loud? I don't think that's too loud. I'm back. It's been a while since I streamed last. I don't know if much has changed. I don't know. I'm working at a law firm. Still working at a tattoo shop. I applied to college today. That was weird. Yeah. So I'm in a weird spot in my life. I don't know. And now we're playing, Ants. Sorry. My sister likes to know when I'm streaming, so I had to run and tell her, and I think I hit start streaming before I thought I would. Okay, I'm starting. We'll just have their music for our background music. Let me get everything up and running. Okay. Turn you back up. Sorry, I just have to. Sorry, I did not prepare as much as I should have. Hello, hello. Alright. Win game? Never in here something? You cannot. I'm gonna have to just turn my headset down. Oh. Okay, I think you can hear it now. Maybe. Also, if you want to play along with me, it's not like the same server or anything, but there's a QR scanner to the side of the screen. That is to also download the game. Queen was forced after the lizards found her. Okay, but am I the queen? That's pretty chill, actually. Yep. Alrighty.
For the time being, but there's still work to be done on the nest.
I don't have to read. I'm turning this up a little bit so you guys can hear better. But I don't have to read it. We know how horrible I am at reading.
After all, the nest needs to be placed 30 centimeters underground.
30 centimeters? That's a foot. That's 12 inches.
That much in mind, there's still more digging to be done.
You guys know how terrible I am at reading the captions down here or anything.
The queen finally finished building the nest, in which she will lay her first eggs.
Oh, we're gonna die? Wait, how do we do this?
Metabolizing her own energy to form a cocoon.
How do we do this? I'm not sure.
Won't end until the larvae turn.
Hold on, I just had my mobile.
And weaker by the day. She is at real risk of dying from starvation.
There we go.
Will need workers to forage for food.
Oh, look at them go!
The
oh
first
wow!
workers have been successfully produced.
Produced? Oh, what did that say? One. Build idle? Build not activated. What? Let's find food. What are these? Are these can Ooh. There's chat, and I'm like a chat down here. Extremely said something that I can't have on Twitch just pop up. But I also can't read that. First batch of workers. Same. Search for food, found food, upgrade quick. Build a vault. How do we build a vault? Vault. Ooh. Ooh. We're progressing. Like, quickly. I still don't understand how to close chat. Build a vault. Claim lead. Just did it. Nice. Woo. Finished the chapter. I actually quite like games like this with the chapter set. There's some. Hold on, I'm hopping over here first. move and overlay. I want. Here we go. The predators got into the nest. Oh, I was not expecting that angle, to be honest. Expand nest and train the soldiers. Ooh. We just like mine away. Build. Habitat. Train. Click. I am. Oh, they look so nice. Train 3 soldiers. Did that. Built their habitat. Do we need another one? That is not what we wanted, apparently. Paste. Bam. Boom. Done. Come on. Cool. Oh, that's fun. And then we just go like this. Bam. Hey, soldier. Hey, soldier. We're doing pretty good. I hope you can hear me, by the way. I feel like I need to bring my microphone closer. You can't hear me, but I actually have no idea. Name, build. How many more soldiers? What? I don't even know what that means. How do we just close? Like, what's this? Create in the Alliance. Oh, I can't do that. I just don't want to be in general chat because I don't know what they're saying. Okay. Feed. Oh. Nice. Eliminate invaders. What else can we do? Can we just like walk around? Healing pool. Wait. Upgrade the upgrade. Okay. Speed. What's this? You can do faster. Oh, what is all this stuff? I am so confused. Hold on. But I feel like we should be more concerned about, you know, the old dude that's outside our house. Should we be doing other soldiers as well? What is this? Upgrade to level 3. So we need more of them. Good. Definitely. What's this? Oh! I clicked a lot. What did that do? Oh. Shop. Oh, that's what that is. Oh, look at us. Is this us? I changed my name to... We are... Sorry, I got really close to your face there. Can we change our picture? Oh, we can have frames and stuff. Okay, that's ugly. I like this little dude, actually. He's kind of cute. Okay, we're all... What just happened? I didn't see what happened. Oh, we can upgrade this now. Can we? I don't know if that's what it got said. Oh, what's this? Speed. Why was there an arrow? I'm okay. I'm lost again. I'm lost most of the time, so it's okay. Why are you pointing at this again? Use? Oh. Oh, this is what we were supposed to be doing. Train. figured it out. Wow. Okay, I want more. More little dudes. Oh. I might pull something into the window just to block chat, because I'm gonna be honest. I'm not sure what they're doing. And I don't like it. Here are my images. There we go. I might just have to use... Oh, what just opened? I didn't want that. What happened? Oh, it's Steam. We have this. This is what we can cover our screen with. I cannot see. I don't know how to get rid of chat for now, so that's what we're doing. We can block some. At some point I'll make something like a bit nicer to cover that. But I think our goal is to get to level 7 and just join our own alliance by ourselves, and then we don't have to worry about it. But that's just my solution to that. Just because I don't know what they're saying. I'm not sure with that mix of emojis if it's I'm not gonna get in trouble for. But yeah, cautious expansion. Where'd the predator go? Did we get him? Okay, we need a hatchery to upgrade that. But I'm gonna get more soldiers on the way. And whatever these guys are. Those guys look terrifying. And I do not like them. These guys are already going. Oh wait, is our profile picture the queen? Okay, so we need to upgrade the hatchery to be able to upgrade the, Okay, where is the hatchery? Is this it? Can we upgrade this? No, we can't. Where is the hatchery? Am I stupid? What do we need? What? Okay, wait, can I dig somewhere? Ah. Ah. Okay, we got that. Okay. We are upgrading this guy. No. I already forgot what we were trying to do. Upgrade. Oh, repair. Our interest is okay. Oh, we do need to dig something. They just couldn't find it. That's okay. Found it now. Do-do-do, I'm actually like vibing with this chill music. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's pretty nice. I didn't read that. Oh, centipede. Oh, the thing's disgusting. I think we need more than 100 of each, but to be fair, it's not gonna let me do that, is it? Oh, I did not like that squishing sound. Oh, gross. I don't like any squishing. I'm glad we're the winner, but... Food. We need another food deposit, and what's here? Field. And then what's here? Can we build this? And build this. Can we build this? And... Oh, we're progressing so fast. I'm actually quite enjoying this. Upgraded already? Yeah. So we could upgrade this as well now. It looks like. Oh, we need an extra queue. That's okay, we can. What is this? Oh, we can adventure out here. We can't touch that yet. The music stopped. Hold on. I'll put on something. I actually have stuff queued for music. That's all good. Be too loud or too quiet? It might be too quiet. There we go. We're back up and running. Da 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 da. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum. And okay, we expanded, built the deposits, built the hatchery, built the healing post. We need to upgrade Miss Ma'am. But we need upgrade this. Do you have a queue open yet? Perfect. Nope, another sip of my coffee. Oh, we have more. Sorry, this is just getting bigger because I generally have no idea. Like, I don't mean to be rude of not knowing a language. For some reason, I'm not enjoying that. Oh, we have a bunch of things to claim. Oh. Hold on. Sorry, my dogs are barking. They like to do that. Ooh. And then these guys are doing that. Then we're done. That's fair. Owned. Perfect. Is this 4 now? Need to upgrade it again. Okay, we can't. So this means you should upgrade this now. But I don't want to wait 10 minutes. I am not patient enough for that. 1 minute speed. Building speed. I'll just like slowly get rid of it. Hee hee hee. Getting faster. Ooh, she has a gift. She has a gift for us. Oh, so I'm not. I don't have money. It's okay. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, I think that's a cute little dude. Look at him. Oh. What a silly little guy. Dude. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. It's actually like a pretty cool game. I didn't know you could. It was a learning curve trying to get it booted up because I've never played mobile games on my computer before. We might do a bit more mobile games. I am. Ooh, a hawk moth. I actually like in real life. I quite like hawk moths. I think they are very pretty. But I think we might play some more mobile games in the future. I'm just gonna make like an actually like nice background so we don't have two big black boxes just sitting there, but Don't want an extra. What are we waiting to be built? What is cute? I can't tell. Where are our cute? Can we see? I don't even know. There are ads, like, you can't see them. There's ads right to the side, and I keep getting distracted because they have food ads, and I'm like, Food. Wait, like that. Every once in a while, you'll just hear my dogs in the background. I'm like, ooh, wonder what they're up to. And then I'm like, nothing good. Yeah. I feel like I was talking when we started about what I was doing recently. But what is here? Beetle, attack it. Oh, get out. Challenge. Pop, 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 pop. Oh, weaver ant. Also, he's a little cutie pie. Squishy noises just get me. Oh, I can't. What is this? Get out? We can leave the nest? Oh, this might not be a good. What? Giant beetle. We can attack the beetle, but we can't attack the moth? Huh. That makes sense. Okay, every time I look at them, I just see like little butts. Sorry. I'm sorry when I do the little... I'm just hearing large squishes into my ears, and I'm like, I love bugs. You're sweet. They have never done anything wrong except be little. But the sounds are gross. Boost, boost. See their little bums. Little booties. Little booties. Hey, booties. The noises. Ba, ba, ba. Originally, we were gonna play Minecraft. But then I was like, we're gonna try something different. And I'm actually, like, quite enjoying this. I'm glad we did something different. Build a fighting arena. Ooh. I feel like I should keep talking. On the topic of an arena, I'm doing Taekwondo now, which is pretty chill, actually. Both level 4. Vault. Where it is a vault. Where is it? I know it's somewhere. There we are. I'm trying not to burp in the microphone. I've been needing to burp a lot lately. Oh, we have build soldier habitat. Lame. We did do that. Expand nest. We did that. Nurseries. Did. We went predatoring. And we did that. We need to build a fortification. What is a fortification? Okay, we need to wait 28 seconds. That's alright. What's this? Oh, ant pass? What's an ant pass? Oh. Oh, login box. Nice. 1 fruit. What's that do? What are these? More updates? I'm sorry. Oh, look at the flower! Just quite nice. The flower. We were building a fortification. No, we weren't. What's being built at the moment? I don't remember. Something is apparent. Oh, we're upgrading. There we go. We also need to build it. It will take a lot less time. My foot is going now. I'm just moving around. Sit like a gremlin. My chair. Sometimes my legs have just started to go a little bit numb, and I'm like, maybe I should move. What else do we upgrade this? Needs vault level 4. Vault level 4. Then we're gonna speed this up. Then upgrade. And speed this up as well, because I'm not a patient person. There we go. Just upgrade. $75-minute speed. Let me just spam click it. Is that reasonable? Is that annoying? People in chat. I don't need to spam click into you guys' ears. But I don't want to wait. I'm trying to keep my mouse nice and quiet too. Usually it's like I'm trying to like keep it quiet. Because I'll go back on my recordings all the time when I do my voiceovers for some of the videos I haven't posted that I need to. And all I can hear is my mouse, and I'm like, we can build the arena! Oh, I'm excited. Ooh, Queen Legionor. Save. Elite Guard. Okay, challenge. What are we doing? I feel like I'm being slowly misled by this arrow pointer. I don't know if we're ready. To be honest with you. Oh, they're magic? We're magic! God damn! Oh, look at them all go! Holy shit! I'll turn my image. Ah! Damn, they demolished the red ants. Holy shit. That was easy. No problem. Sorry, I have to cover chat back up. Wow, reward. We get a reward? Ooh. Reward. Oh yeah, we don't want the fox. Want my queen. Soldier habitat. Ant history. We get another thing. Exciting. Food deposit. We need to upgrade you. How long are you going to take? Minutes. We can do it. Hopefully, no, we're skipping it. Free. We get to build it. Ooh, what do we want to pick? I'm excited. What do we want to pick? I want the moon. Ah! Sarah Horn Beetle. I think. I'm liking this bad boy, but this guy is also kind of cute. There's a leaf. Oh, I like this. Alright, come on. Primary language. And we're gonna do the peanut gallery. Because that's who we are. We are the peanut gallery. Nuts. We are the nut. In some ways. You have 1,000 diamonds? Oh. Can I get out of general chat? Don't have 1,000 diamonds yet. Oh. That's okay. What are we doing? We're upgrading. If you're wondering what that noise was, that was me fixing my septum ring on your face. By on your face, I mean off the microphone. Okay, so we only have 3 ants that work at a time. That's kind of silly. Really cool. Oh, is it snowing? Can we click any of this now? Level 6, level 7, 10, 7. Guard info. Bonus D2. Oh. Did that just pull up like a phone? Hold on. I'm so confused. I'm not on a phone, by the way. We're in growth. You do not understand how tired I am. I've been burning out so badly. But that's okay. Here, peace. Upgrade. Upgrade, 10 seconds. And then we'll eat away at the wall while that happens. But like, look at the progress we're making. This has literally been 20 minutes. We have been playing for 20 minutes, and look how far we've gotten. Well, 24, 25 to be exact. 24 minutes, 26 seconds, 27, and so on. As you may see, it doesn't take that long. You do. Go. In the arena, and then we do exchange. Not free. Ooh. Oh, 7? We have 7? There we go. We go with hatchery, and then go free. Yeah, I didn't know we had 7. Snail? Is there a snail in the game? I would love a snail. Honeydew! There's this place near where I work that has honeydew boba, and I absolutely love it. Like, oh my god. I am such a huge fan of honeydew boba. But with the popping boba, because I'm not a huge... Like, I like tapioca, but not in the way you need, because they fill your cup 75% way full of boba. Like, just the tapioca. Love the honeydew, but it's mostly tapioca. And I'm like, it's so good, but I don't want to have that many balls in my mouth. uncomfortable. You know what I'm supposed to be doing right now? I'm supposed to be doing my homework. I have so much homework I'm supposed to be doing right now. I have 2 full assignments that are due tonight at midnight that I'm gonna do after this. I should do after this. Why didn't we ever build with you? Oh yeah. Something else is being. Oh. Redback. Oh yeah, we can't fight it yet. Built. Oh yeah. I forgot about that. Why is there? Yeah, man, history. What's up? Oh. Oh yeah. We can't claim that. We already tried. Forgetting that. Wanted Alliance Hall. And then what else did? Basic patch. Didn't. I forget what we were. Timer or training soldier. That's some pretty good time speed. I don't know what's happening. Fortification. Upgrade. Leaf pile level 2? We can upgrade the leaf pile? Okay, we're gonna have to upgrade the leaf pile. Apparently. I didn't know you could do that. Kind of exciting. Ooh. Doing so good. I feel like I've been streaming way longer than I have. It's such a good game. Get bored so easily, and random things opening on my computer. But I'm genuinely enjoying this. I just don't have the attention span to play games right now. Oh, did I tell you guys about the esports? I was the opportunity a tuition bursary for college by being on a varsity sports team. I'm like, that's a good deal. That is a good deal. I will be on a varsity esports team for less tuition costs. That's pretty nice. I'm debating or not if we're gonna switch over games. I'm still gonna have the QR code scanner up for anyone who does want to download after the fact we are done. Everyone is welcome to use the QR code whenever they want to. Sorry, I'm just stretching. But if you don't, that's okay too. Don't feel pressured into getting it Legion of the Swarm. Although I do highly recommend it. It's like I'm feeling quite cozy playing this, and not just because I'm swaddled up in a little blanket. If I can learn it, you can learn it too. Because I am not that smart sometimes, but you can 100% learn it if I can. And it's 100% free to play. There are some in-app purchases, but other than that, 100% free to download, to play, to support. You can also support the game. Well, not the game. support the game by downloading it and interacting with its content. But you can also support me as a creator by clicking some of the links down in the description. Oh, we lost. That's okay. Clicking links down in the... If you scroll down, you'll find links. Or clicking the links in the description of the VOD that will be up on YouTube after. We failed this. Why are we doing it again? I feel like this is where we heal of our people. I keep looking over and seeing this one lady's boobs, and I'm starting to get uncomfortable because of the ads from... I'm using a launcher that's not at all related, so I'm just using a random mobile app launcher on my PC, and some of these ads are very questionable. But that has nothing to do with the game at all. I was just not expecting it. Like, sometimes I'll open my work Instagram and it'll just be someone's full ass, and you'll be like, what the hell? And for anyone who's in chat that doesn't know me, if there is anyone in chat, I'm a tattoo artist. That is why I randomly get photos of people's butts. It's awkward, and I don't like it. I felt the need to clarify that. Because there's some other things in other industry. Like, there's some other industries that are like, how do I use... Hold on. I'm just putting something in chat if anyone does want to download, and it should be popping up. Unless I can't read. Which is a possibility. I don't know. Weird. What was I going on about? Oh, if you want to support me as a creator, there are some links in the description. You can subscribe to my Twitch or my YouTube. I stream sometimes, although I do post on YouTube more. But honestly, it is whatever you prefer, and you don't even have to if you don't feel like it. It is just nice to know that someone is actually watching my videos sometimes. And that they're not absolutely intolerable to watch. What were we doing? We were upgrading the lead. Upgrade. What are we waiting for? Because I can't figure out what is building. Oh, the healing pool. There's help button. Of course there is. We got a 5-minute a while ago. We'll use that, and then just normal. Because we wanted to upgrade our leaf pile. They're not gonna take us that long. Apologies. Throat is getting dry. Okay, this little guy's adorable too. I love the effort they put into some of these graphics, because goddamn, beautiful. Did I click upgrade? Okay, no, I didn't. Food depot. This little button. And then we're gonna restart all of our soldiers. We're gonna train again. Go back. Train again. And go back. And then train again. And go back. Train again. And go back. And I don't want to join Alliance. Nursery. We're gonna upgrade. And then we're gonna speed up. I'm patient. And we're gonna do the same thing here. Don't want to create an alliance. Speed. Building speed. Watch me run out of building speed to just get frustrated. One, two. And we can wait 30 seconds. 30 seconds is much. However, I was gonna look at something here. Need to reload my page. This is just something off topic. Box. I'm just curious. Quite curious. Sorry. I forgot something. Da, da, da. I didn't figure out what I wanted to, but that is alright. What is this? Thought there was something there. Point exchange. Do not have any points. What? That. What is the thing above it? Not know. Oh, do we have enough people to upgrade this at the moment? We do. How does someone get more diamonds? Because I want to make a... Don't want to spend $6. There's an ad. Alright. Keep yawning. I don't know why. Probably because it's such a nice and cozy game. Cozy. It's this. Level 6. Not what I wanted. I have my elbow up on this counter. I'm like have my computer. And I like my elbow keeps slipping and I just keep hitting myself right in the ear. And the only downside is that I hit the switch for my headphones and I keep turning the sound all the way up. And I'm like, yikes. What did I click? What? Do we have helmets and stuff? Oh. They're doing good. They're doing good. We do not have. Doing good. Then we can keep on going. Did these upgrade? They did. Can we upgrade this? No. What? Being built that doesn't need to be doing. Now maybe. Please, s'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît, let me. You do what I want to. Wait. Apologies. I'm trying to see if anything's being built, and I can't tell. He can be upgraded now, but I want to upgrade him. Okay, and then we can just heat it up. Boom. And we can... I feel like there's more things we can claim, there's not. And then we upgrade. That's an hour. That is quite a long way. We're at Queen. Can't touch any of this. Dash. What did I click? What did I do wrong? Oh no. What? No, I do not want to. It wants me to speed it up. Okay. Okay, that took a little bit. But we can click Scout Post. Ooh. Ceremony? Pheromone? Pheromone. Change skin. Ew. I do have trained other rescue. I got separated from the group. Warring growth reclaimed. There are level 2 predator around here we can hunt. You're level 2. Attack you. Sorry, my computer is getting a little bit laggy. We leveled up. Oh. Maybe click that. Oh, we can hit. Oh, hop, man. I forgot the words. Hawk moth. Hawk moth. Hawk moth. Not Mankoth. Mog. Akma. Akma. What are we going here for? Get Pharaoh in. Go. There we go. Well, I could have fallen. Oh yes, another thing that's new that I forgot to tell you about is I got a new chair. And I could literally curl up in it and just sleep. Not because I'm tired all the time. Just because. You know, it's pretty nice. My apologies. I just dug an ear into the back of my head trying to adjust my headphones. Dogs again. I love my dogs, man. But sometimes they're so loud. I like just watching them church. I like that there's also clovers all around here. I think that's adorable. I also like that we're winning. My brother's home. If you heard that, that was my brother. He is home now. He does that. Why can't you see anymore? Why can't you see the game? Why? What happened? What happened? Why is it not? Why is it not working? There we go. There we go. Sorry, I'm just vibing, to be honest with you. Oh shit. I think we're almost evenly matched. Might be a bit of a problem. But I think in just a little bit, we are going to switch over games to Minecraft, just because. Well, I'm deciding if we're switching over games to play Minecraft for a bit, or if I'm just ending stream for now. I might just end stream. Yeah, I am gonna end stream. Let me just get over here. Thank you guys so much for watching. As I said, feel free to scan the QR code on the side of the screen. It supports both me and the creators of the game, and this is a pretty good game. You can also hit the the follow button or the subscribe button on my Twitch or YouTube. Both of them help so much. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next stream. Mitawa!